Okay, so you may be asked some questions for sorting information. These types of multiple choice questions you have, especially if you're doing, applying for some clerical work or positions with the government, where you're going to be, obviously doing some clerical type of activities. So one type would be alphabetical ordering. So this is placing names in alphabetical order. It requires sorting names according to the conventional order of letters of the alphabet, obviously. So obviously start with the A's and work your way down. Just to give you an example here, the list Dovetail, Manager, Apple, Dragon, Animal, and Music would be placed in the following order. So if you do it alphabetically, it starts off with Animal. This is the first word alphabetically. You start off with the A's, and because there's two A's, in this case you look at the second letter. So the A's are first, Animal and Apple, and you know that Animal comes before Apple because the second letter, N, occurs before P. So you look at the second letter after the first if you're actually organizing these things. So Animal followed by Apple, Dovetail followed by Dragon, because they're both D's, but then you look at the next letter down. So O would take place before R, and then again Manager and Music. And again, if the second letters are both the same, say it was Music and Much, just to pull a word out, you look at the third letter. So Much would take place before Music because the third letter is a C, which would come before S in this situation. So just make sure you're comfortable with that. You should be pretty familiar with alphabetical ordering. It's not too complex, but again, you have to work relatively quickly through it. When you're dealing with names, alphabetical ordering is done based on the last name of an individual typically. The following people are placed in the correct, alphabetical order. So you have Sean Bean, Michael Fox, Jeffrey Michaels, and Andrew Yang. So again, you're placing them in this order because you'd be looking at their last names. Bean, B comes before F, Fox, which comes before Michaels, M, which comes before Yang, Y. So the last name will determine the order of the list, Bean, Fox, Michaels, and Yang. When two people share the same last name, the order is then given based on the first person's name. So Jeff Stevens, Stephen McCaffrey, and Trevor Stevens should be placed in the following order. Stephen McCaffrey followed by Jeff Stevens followed by Trevor Stevens. Okay, because both Jeff Stevens and Trevor Stevens have the same last name, but J comes before T when you look at the first name. Titles are not generally considered in sorting out until after their names have been sorted out. So, for example, Richard Allen III would come before Victor Allen the second, and John Michael Jr. would come before Sean Michael. Okay, so titles are not considered in sorting until after the names have been sorted first. When attempting to sort names in an alphabetized list, when one word is shorter than the other, yet they have the same configuration letters up until that point, the shorter word would follow first in the order. So John Smithers, Michael Smith. Michael Smith would come before John Smithers, okay, because Smith is shorter than Smithers. So after the H, you have to assume the shorter word here would be listed first. So the Michael Smith before John Smithers, before Andrew Smitherson, which is even longer than Smithers. Okay, so that should be pretty clear. Dates are sorted by year, followed by month, and finally day. The following dates are placed in order from earliest to latest. So, sample 1, 2001, June 12th, then 2004, June 16th, and 2005, December 8th. Okay. Another example would be March 3rd, 1975. October 13th, 1977, and November 1st, 1977. So that's from earliest to latest. It's usually safe to assume that the order is day, month, year, unless there's a signal that the month is placed first, as in the original example, in the following example. Okay, so usually the format is day, month, year, as indicated here. But every now and then, if you're watching it, just be very careful, because if there's some sort of indication that the months are actually listed first, then you have to pay close attention to it. So if you see this date here, 5/15, 1981, we know there's only 12 months in the year. So this 15 here has to represent days. Okay, so this would obviously, the first row now would be the months of the year. So it would be month, day, year. Okay, so just pay attention to that. Just watch out for traps like that. When sorting numbers, it is important to understand the proper value of the digits. Review teaching material in the math section if necessary, if you're having difficulty with this. The further a digit is to the left of any number, the larger it is. So obviously 100 is greater than 10, which is greater than 1, which is greater than 0.1, etc. So you guys should be familiar with this. Only compare digits if they share the same place value as the original digits, obviously. So obviously 32 is greater than 9, okay? 0.1 is greater than 0.099. Okay, so just, if you're having a great deal of difficulty with this, review the math teaching material in it, especially on place value, but this should not be difficult for people. Okay, so good luck with your studying, and let us know if you have any questions.